It's raining, but I don't need an umbrella. Standing in your rain is where I wanna be.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Belle. If you are not new, then welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today we are getting into another new product. As some of you guys probably do already know, Revolution launched their first face and body foundation, which is called the Belle face and body foundation. I'm really excited to get into this because there's obviously a lot of releases that have been coming out with products that are a little bit more lightweight on the skin. I know MAC recently came out with like a new formula of their face and body foundation, which has been very popular at the moment, and obviously Revolution has now come out with theirs, so we're going to test this out. I did get some other bits from them as well, but we're going to get right into the video and see how it looks like, so let's get right into it. So this is what the foundation bottle looks like. Very nice and minimalistic, but it does definitely stand out, and I like the fact that you can see the colour through the bottle as well. Introducing Revolution's first face and body foundation, the Revolution Body Belle Foundation, a lightweight water-based liquid foundation with a sheer to buildable coverage for customizable skin match and a dreamy satin finish. So it's a satin finish, not a dewy finish. It's got vitamin C and hyaluronic acid in it. No need to wait for a fake tan to develop. Get instant results with this Revolution body range. They did come out with quite a few other products as well, but I only picked up this foundation from that particular range, and I got it in the shade F14.2, which is for dark or deep skin tones with an olive undertone. The one above it, which is 13.5, is for dark or deep skin tones with a neutral undertone. Obviously I'm not a neutral undertone, so I chose not to get that. And then the one below that, which is F15, is for dark or deep skin tones with a red undertone, so I felt like 14.2 would be the best match for me. And I've also just prepped and primed my face with the NYX Bear With Me primer. This is the one that's a dupe to my Milk Hydro Grip one, which I've already reviewed, but just looking at it, I think it could actually potentially be a good match. I'm hoping it works, but obviously we've got it now. This is the only shade that I have, so we're going to make it work. And just in case you are new here, I do usually match any of my foundation products to my chest because my face is darker than the rest of my body, so that's just another one to put out there. So I'm actually going to apply this, dotting it on my face first. I'm going to put a little bit more on the back of my hand, and let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Yeah, definitely see that olive. I think it could potentially work, but let's give it a go. Usually I do go in with a sponge to blend it out, but I'm gonna use a brush to do this today just to see. So it definitely shears out for sure. Obviously the way I've applied it is gonna be a bit more on the sheer side based on the description on the website. At the moment I'm not feeling too confident about the shade, but I'm going to continue to apply it and see how it looks like. Obviously it is a sheer product, so I could potentially get away with it, but let's just see. I do feel like I still need to apply like some sort of a shade around here just to help with the hyperpigmentation that I have, so I'm going to quickly go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm going to continue to apply that foundation on my face and let's see what we get. I did actually expect 14.2 to be a little bit more on the deeper side, obviously olive undertone, which is fine, but I just didn't expect the actual shade to be this light, so I'm not sure how that's going to work for other people that are like on the deeper side, because they didn't come out with much shades, and I know they said that it's customizable, but I'm not sure how many people this will work on. I mean, this is olive undertone, the one above it was a neutral undertone, and then the one below it was a red undertone, so I feel like there's definitely a lot of in-between shades that are missing. But aside of the actual shade, I think the formula right now is looking absolutely stunning on my face. I definitely really am liking it. I'm going to apply more. We've got 120 mils. I don't know if I mentioned that, but you get 120 mils, which is 4.05 fluid ounces. So you definitely get quite a lot of products in there. So I'm just going to bring this down to my neck as well to take advantage of applying it as much places as I can, considering it's a face and body product. Obviously I've just applied one layer with a brush. Usually I do apply with a sponge. I much prefer to do so with a sponge. Okay, I'm just going to get a damp sponge now and let's blend it out, see what the coverage is saying with a sponge. So for those that want a little bit more of a light layer, you could obviously just apply it the same way I did the first round Now I'm seeing a bit more coverage, so I'm actually liking that. Always feel like the sponge applies it with better coverage, but that's just me. So I can definitely see it has added a bit more coverage, considering like my marks that I have here are not as visible as they were before. Okay, so let's see how this applies on the chest. I'm going to use my fingers. You guys should be able to see that. And let's go. Coverage is really nice, but it does definitely sheer out as you continue to blend. I guess if you want a bit more of a fuller coverage, you can always go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna lie, now that I'm applying it on my chest, it actually looks good. Like I can't even see it, it's not obvious. So definitely looking pretty good. Okay, you guys saw my application. I applied it all here and it looks good on the skin. For me, it's not giving me much of a tan. I think if I wanted a tan, I should have probably gone a shade down, but that had a red undertone, and obviously there's no sun out right now. I think having a red undertone but face and body foundation would have been just a little bit too much for me. But let's continue to apply. I'm going to apply some on my arm here. Right, so let's see what it looks like on the arm. So you can see it looks like it's going to be quite a lot of coverage, but as you continue to massage it into the skin, it does sheer out. As I've massaged it to my skin, I think it does work out, and it's nice that it does give me one tone. Yeah, I mean, it does look really, really nice at the moment on the skin. So that's what it looks like on the body. I'm going to apply a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to blend again with my fingers. And let's see. So I like the fact that it does give me a nice even skin tone, and I think this shade is actually better for me than I thought. I think if I was actually tanned, then the shade down, which is F15 with a red undertone, would have been probably better for me, but obviously there's no sun, we ain't tanned. So this is what my shoulder's looking like with it on, and then this is without. I hope that gives you guys a bit more of a clearer view in terms of how that looks. Let's get on to finishing the rest of the face. I'm going to keep it in the family using Revolution, so I'm going to use the Fast Base foundation stick in F15 to bronze, and I like this foundation stick because it does give me a bit more of that extra dew whenever I'm looking for it, and right now I've really been enjoying that, so that's why I'm using this. I'm going to go with these concealers by Revolution. It's the Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C13 and C12.5. I haven't used these in a while, not gonna lie. I'm not sure why. I guess I just have had other concealers that I've really been enjoying quite a lot. It actually does look fine just like this, but I do want to brighten up my under eyes a little bit, so I am going to go in with 12.5. I just want to do a little something to the eye, so I'm going to quickly do that and then we can move on. Okay, I've just put on 12.5 under my eyes and I'm just going to blend this out. I don't want to let it dry for too long because I know this does dry down pretty quickly, but it is a full coverage concealer and I don't want it to be too much. For my setting powder, I'm going to use the IHeart Revolution banana shade. This is the banana, not banana deep. I was actually supposed to pick up banana deep, but I ended up picking up banana. But I'm just going to put a little bit because obviously I've already gone in with 12.5, which is a little bit on the lighter side. Oh, I completely forgot to put on this blusher. I'm going to use the Super Dewy Liquid Blush, also by Revolution, and this is in the shade Blush Me Up. So this is the shade Blush Me Up, and if you haven't seen it before, I will swatch it on the back of my hand. And I'm actually going to use the back of my sponge, and I don't want to ruin all of this that we've already done. Usually I do like to bring my blusher up a bit more, but I did already set my face before doing this, so I wasn't able to do that. I like it. I just wish I put this on before I put my setting powder. Okay, so here we have the finished look, and I'm absolutely loving the way my skin is looking. I did actually spray the Revolution Super Dewy Hydrating Spritz on my face as well, and I didn't add a powder bronzer. I actually just set it with a setting powder. I did actually spray a little bit on my chest as well, where I put the face and body foundation. And yeah, my skin's glowing. This is exactly what I wanted, glowy skin. So that's the review. I hope this gave you a good insight into the formula of the product and how it looks on the skin. Specifically this shade, whether it's your shade or not, should give you a bit more of direction in terms of what shade to go for, and obviously if you are interested in actually purchasing it or not. In terms of my recommendations, if you like something that's a little bit more lightweight on the skin, then of course by all means you can pick this up. It is £15. You do get quite a lot of product in it, so I think for that price point, I personally think it is worth it. It does have a satin finish, but obviously for me, I did have a bit of that luminosity coming through, which I absolutely loved. But yeah, I mean, I honestly have no complaints. I was a little bit nervous about the shade to begin with. Of course, that is because my face is darker than the rest of my body, but when I did put it on my chest, I couldn't even see where I applied it. So I think this shade is gonna work for me, and I think if it was a case of the sun being out and I did get quite tanned, I think F15, which is the one with the red undertone, could potentially work for me. But at the moment I'm liking this. I wouldn't say it gives me a tan, I would say it just gives me a bit more of an even skin tone. But here we have it, guys. What do you think? I love it. I love it. That's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do give it a thumbs up, and of course I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye.